The social reality of crime, formulation of definition of crime, application of definition of crime, development of behavior patterns in relation to definition of crime, construction of ideology of crime. Conflict theory of crime. From Richard Sweeney, Criminology, Boston, Little Brown, in 1975, page 37 to 41. 1. The official definition of crime. Crime as a legal definition of human conduct is created by agents of the dominant class in a politically organized society. 2. Formulating definition of crime. Definition of crime are composed of behaviors that conflict with the interests of the dominant class. Definition of are applied by the class has the power to shape the enforcement and administration of the law. 3. Applying definition of crime. 4. How behavior patterns develop in relation to the definition of crime. Behavior patterns are structured in relation of definition of crime, and within this context, people engage in actions that have related probabilities of being defined as criminals. 5. Constructing an ideology of crime. An ideology of crime is constructed and diffused by the dominant class to secure his homology or ideological domination. Richard Sweeney was born on May 16, 1934 in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, U.S. He is an American philosopher and criminologist, known for his optical philosophical approach to criminal justice research. He asserted that is natural occurred in a society that the wealthy over the poor and the powerful over the weak. Book description of Richard Sweeney. The social reality of crime remains an eloquent and important statement on crime, law, and justice. At the time of its appearance in 1970, Sweeney theory not only liberated the field for a recitation of the practices of the police, courts, and corrections. It also represents a marked departure from traditional analysis, which view criminal behavior as pathological. Meaning not only advanced criminological truth, his inspired schools and students of crime and the criminal justice to reorient their perception of the justice system. Example, in the social reality of crime, 1970, he concluded that public conceptions of crime are constructed in the political arena to serve political purposes. Taking a new Marxist approach is critic of legal order, 1974. Introduced a theory of legal order intended to demystify the false consciousness that he maintained as created by official reality. Overview of this, his early work examined the different official treatment of white-collar criminals and street criminals. He generalized this concern into a theory of conflict that attempted to explain why some acts are defined and prosecuted as criminal whereas others are not. In the social reality of crime, 1970, for example, she concluded that public conceptions of crime are constructed in the political arena to serve political purposes.
Left realism is just one political ideology that focuses on the causes of crime and deviance. Left realists believe that living in a capitalistic society, as in a society where private entities control trade and industry instead of the state, is the main cause for crime. In a capitalistic society, there is cultural inclusion, meaning that everyone who lives within this society can pursue the ideals and concepts under capitalism. Essentially, they're consumers. However, most are economically excluded, meaning that they can't afford the things that others can to be relevant in a capitalistic society. Therefore, those who are economically excluded resort to crime and deviant behavior to fill the void left by not being able to buy all the crap that advertising tells them they should. There are three major reasons for people to commit crimes. Again, the primary consideration for left realists are those individuals who are economically excluded. Usually, this means poor or minorities.
Let's talk about left realism. What is left realism? Left realism is just one political ideology that focuses on the causes of crime, and deviants left realistic believe that living in a capitalistic society, as in a society where private entities control trade and industries instead of the state, it is a main cause of crime. In a capitalistic society, there is cultural inclusion, meaning that everyone who lives within this society can purpose the ideals and concepts under the capitalism. Liberalism is just one political ideology that focuses on the causes of crime, and deviance liberalism being that living in capitalistic society as a society where private entities control trade and industries instead of the state is the main cause for crime. In a capitalistic society, there is cultural inclusion, meaning that everyone who lives within the society can pursue the ideals and concepts under capitalism. Essentially, their consumers, however, must are economically included, meaning that can afford the things that others can be relevant in a capitalistic society. Therefore, those who are economically included resort to the crime and deviant behavior to fill the void left by not being able to buy all the crap that advertising tells them they should. Background: since the early 1980s, a number of sociologists have developed a perspective on crime and deviance. Among the most prominent supporters of this perspective are Jack Chiang, John Lea, Roger Matthew, and Richard Kensi. Liberalism originated in Britain but has begun to influence criminologists in other countries, including Austria and Canada. Liberalism criminologists are critical of perspectives which see longer sentences and more prisons as the solution to crime, but they also oppose the view of what they term left idealists. In their view, that this includes a variety of Marxist, neo-Marxist, and radical feminists.